Mr Speaker, I rise to call out the Morrison government's failure to introduce a national anti-corruption commission. This is without a doubt the most corrupt, rotten, wasteful government in the history of our nation.
Order. The member will withdraw the term that was just used then, and I'll ask you not to repeat it. I'll ask you to withdraw. I talked about this in question time just yesterday.
So we're not allowed to call out the government for being corrupt? I didn't hear you in question time. Is that really your ruling now?
That is absolutely correct.
Sure. In the interest of continuing, I will withdraw. Unbelievable, but sure. That's your ruling, Mr Speaker. We will abide by it. This government has rorted billions of taxpayers' dollars. They treat taxpayer dollars as if they were Liberal Party dollars, as the Auditor-General shows year after year, shoveling taxpayer money to marginal seats. You know it. It's what happens. That's what they do. They treat the AAT as an employment agency for Liberal mates. They stack government boards with failed Liberal politicians. We found out in the Audit Committee that the National Housing, Financing and Infrastructure Board doesn't have a single person now with any expertise in social or affordable housing. All the blokes are retired Liberal politicians. Apparently it's okay for the member for Pearce to accept $1 million in secret donations. Under this government, it's okay for members of parliament to take bags of cash left outside their door and not declare where it came from. The Prime Minister has broken his promise to introduce an ICAC. And his excuse, well, he blames Labor. He says it's Labor's fault. Somehow it's our fault.
The member for Bruce would just hold for one moment. The Minister, Assistant Minister, on a point
of order. He's reflecting on members. No members have taken bags of cash left outside their office. He's wrong and he should withdraw.
Yeah, look, the member for Bruce can continue.
Thank you, Speaker. He blames Labor for his own failure to introduce a bill and debate it in this House. It is truly bizarre. He did propose a weak model. It's not a big stick. It's like being whacked with a little bit of balsa wood, beaten with wet lettuce. He then blames New South Wales for having an ICAC with teeth. His so-called good friend Gladys Berejiklian was hauled before ICAC, which scared off the government. That's Gladys Berejiklian, who called him a horrible, horrible person and a complete psycho. And then his latest excuse, there's no time. Well, the parliament last week sat till 5 a.m. He has a record low number of sitting days. Here's a tip for the Prime Minister. You could schedule more sitting days and have a debate on a National Anti-Corruption Commission. Bring it on. He won't even have the debate, Mr Speaker. He's scared. Now, he's scared because the parliament may impose a model with teeth. But we saw the report of the Cabinet leak last week, an astounding leak, that the Prime Minister was trying to get the votes for his flawed, divisive religious discrimination bill to divide the nation, and he was trying to trade votes for that, promising a debate on a corruption commission. There's no sense of irony in that, is there? Trading votes for a debate on a corruption commission while trying to get something else through the parliament. But then he was rolled in the Cabinet. He was rolled because, get this, let this sink in, because the Cabinet, the Government of Australia, the most senior ministers in the government, was scared that there may be a corruption commission with retrospective powers that may investigate their own time in office. That's exactly what the media report said. Australians know that the Prime Minister has no intention of introducing an ICAC. He's a cunning politician, but he is not a leader. Now, it's not just a matter for the government and the Liberals. Sadly, it's a matter for the nation. It impacts our global standing in the global rankings of corruption. Australia has become more corrupt after a decade of the Liberals. In 2012, when Labor was in office, we ranked 7th out of all the countries in the world on Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index. You know, we could do better, but not bad. Top 10. January this year, last month, the worst ever score that Australia has recorded. 18th globally we've fallen to. And the reason for the drop is the Prime Minister's failure to establish a federal anti-corruption commission. A decade in office. This bloke has lost touch, he's lost trust, he's now lost touch. He's out of ideas, out of time and out of office. And I'd seek leave to table this graphical illustration of the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index showing the fall of Australia under this Prime Minister.
Is leave granted?
Absolutely not.
It is a fact. Anyone in the country can look at what the world has, how the world has ranked us We've fallen down. We've become a more corrupt country under this failing, rotten government.